development that we see in the last 250 years is the gift of fossil fuels. While they have given us enormous benefits, now they have become our enemies because they have created, basically it's because of the overuse of fossil fuels in the last 250 years that they have started accumulating in the atmosphere, because of which global warming is taking place, and global warming is changing the entire temperature pattern and may make the planet unfit for human or any other form of life. And so it has become our enemy in a significant way. Also, fossil fuels, the overuse of fossil fuels is now acidifying the oceans, and therefore the oceans also may become unfit for life. And this process has been going on. We don't know how much, how quickly this curtain will close, but the curtain is closing. So we need to find alternatives. But having said that, the thing is that we are currently, if you look at industrialized countries, they are consuming electricity or energy of the order of 100 to 150 kilowatt hours per person per day. Compared to that, developing countries are consuming only about 20 to 30 kilowatt hours per person per day. Some middle income countries like China or a little bit less India are somewhere halfway in between, like 60 to 80 kilowatt hours per person per day. So the one thing to notice is that we will not be able to develop unless we have a huge increase in our energy consumption. That means a country like Pakistan probably needs 5 times the amount of energy that we are consuming today. And that 5 times the amount of energy, if it comes from fossil fuels, it will add to the burden on the planet, and it is unsustainable. In the meantime, while this thing was happening, the technological developments and market developments that took place have resulted in massive decreases in the cost of renewable energy. Renewable energy, there are also traditional renewables like hydro and biomass, but there are the new renewables, which is essentially solar and wind. Some people put nuclear in there, others have some problem with nuclear, but nevertheless, it doesn't have the same kind of impact that the fossil fuels do. So, luckily, the cost of all of these alternatives have begun to come down. Today, if you actually do the numbers right, solar is the cheapest form of energy. If Pakistan wants to solve its energy problem, solar is the main way to proceed. Energy is fundamental to life itself, and more importantly to development. The major difference between developing and developed countries is energy, the amount of energy that they consume, and the efficiency with which they consume energy. Countries like Pakistan need a minimum of 5-fold increase in their per capita energy availability. That currently the best way in which we can access this is not through fossil fuels, but through solar and also hydro and wind. So Pakistan needs a massive program in these areas in order to make this possible and to make the transition take place. Pakistan has a number of other problems. There's massive corruption in the energy system. Everybody knows that the discos and so forth, the appointment by government of the discos is, really a huge problem, because there are newspaper stories of the kind of stratospheric levels of corruption that are taking place over there. We do need to address it. So that requires an institutional solution of its own form. There are also issues of slightly different nature, which is this circular debt problem. It's a problem that we have created, and none of the governments has really been able or has had the resources to be able to solve it. I think we need to put it, solve it, put it aside and move forward. So these are, in some sense, contextual issues for Pakistan. But the broader issue is very simple. We need more energy. the most sustainable, the most economical, and the most productive forms of energy is now renewables. And we don't have the institutional or the policy or other support for this form of energy. We need that urgently in order that we can move forward.